But if you treat me, baby, it's gonna get sticky. Aye, aye. So today I'm gonna be doing like a quick little like 3 to 5 minute review of Kirk by Dababy, because I did a whole review to it, but honestly, it wasn't even worth giving a whole review because there wasn't really much for me to react to. It was kind of me just sitting there. I had my I had this thing, and I was just sitting there drinking the little Nerd Slurpee. I'm not gonna lie, those things are kind of flames. But I was sitting there drinking the Nerd Slurpee while listening to this album most of the time, focusing on that more than the album itself. Because if I'm being honest, this album was very mediocre and exactly what you would expect from Dababy. So most people will think, well, that's a good thing, right? Like, oh, this is something that you expected from an artist. But it's not a good thing to expect, because it's not like we expected him to do something different and make it sound good. We expected him to do the same thing that we already know sounds good. So it's not like it's new or anything, and it kind of gets played out throughout this whole entire album with songs like Off the Rip. Very literally the typical, if you were to search up Dababy type beat, that's what you would find, and then Dababy type flow generator is what you would get. Like, perfect example. Probably Heard is probably the most annoying song I've heard this whole entire year, just because of how many times you hear the freaking hook. Raw She with the Migos was okay, but still a typical Dababy song. There He Go, typical Dababy song, and XXL is just his XXL freestyle on a beat, which was still hard, low key, but still. The only real songs on here that had any type of different production were Intro. I feel like Bop, even though it had the same boom, 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 or whatever thing, it still had like the little woo, 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 woo thing in the back. So I think that made it a little bit more unique. And I feel like Vibes, even though I didn't like it that much, it still has its own vibe. Like, that beat is very unique to Dababy. So, and Pop Star, Gospel, iPhone, and even Toes were all, and really, even though they were songs that didn't have production super crazy, they still had their own unique flair to it, which made them different from a typical Dababy song when it comes to beat. But when it comes to him himself, 90% of the time he's still doing the exact same thing that he always does. So it's like, but the only songs on here that I think are genuinely bad is Off the Rip, iPhone, Probably Heard, and every other song on the album. Now, the good songs, I'm not gonna lie, the good songs on here are bops. Like, I mean, it's like they're good Dababy songs I actually want to listen to outside of this album. So, for example, Bop. It's obviously the biggest track off the album, and in my opinion, it's one of the best. It has a good vibe to it, and the beat is super good, and it's super catchy. Like, I don't see any problem with it. Pop Star, because it felt like even though he didn't do nothing too different, it felt a little bit different for Dababy. And Kevin Gates just ripped it up. Like, Kevin Gates did his thing on this song. Another good song was Toes. Dababy snapped, and I think it was a Kenny beat. Let me see. Yeah, this is a Kenny beat. Yeah. So I won't even lie, like, Dababy on different types of beats is actually really refreshing and really good. But his problem is that he's one of those types of people that sticks with one producer. But the thing is that one producer is not unique enough. He needs to, on his next album, Dababy either needs to completely change the way he raps, or not completely change the way he raps, but add more uniqueness to it. Or he needs to just get an album full of production, not by that guy that he's already gotten production by before. Because if he did that, I'm not gonna lie, Dababy would have a very solid album. But he doesn't do that. He just keeps using the same producer, same beats, same flow, same style, same ad-libs, everything. I can't even tell you how many times I heard "Let's go" throughout this freaking album. I literally could not tell you. So, That's really all I gotta say. 4 out of 10.